Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm gonna give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake, Scott, Ben Anderson. Thanks for joining us.
What's wrong with you?
On a Friday. What?
You've got all this attitude all of a sudden.
Well, first of all...
Thanks for joining us. Okay.
First of all, I always have attitude.
You do, but sometimes you can't. I can tell, but
There's
you laid it on pretty heavy there.
A little sass on this show. No, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm good. I was breaking in, joining us. I don't know. I'm trying not to get too repetitive. You bust my chops for saying the same thing every day, so I got to figure out something else to do.
Okay. No, I think bringing us in the same way is actually important.
I have an incredible low self-esteem, and every time that somebody makes fun of me, I take it to heart.
Do you want to watch the Masters, or what do you want to do here?
Yeah. Well, better the Masters than have an armpit on.
Sure.
So, yeah, let's fire that up.
Who you told me is not invited to the Masters?
No, he wanted to go, and they said no.
They said you're not welcome.
They said, no, you're not.
All right.
Your type of irreverence is not welcome here.
The language and whatnot.
I was telling the story to PK off the air about the only time I've played Jeremy Ranch.
Uh-huh.
And, because we were talking yesterday why I don't like the Masters because of the snootiness or whatever. I did take some satisfaction and did think it was funny that my buddies and I drew straws to see who was going to drive up the canyon. And my buddy Jeff was the one who ended up having to drive. And he had the oldest, most beat-up Toyota Tercel that you've ever seen. It actually worked phenomenally because he was a genius mechanical engineer type.
Yeah.
So
Toyota.
It was amazing. But on the outside, it looked quite beat up.
It was a clunker.
And so rolling in to a country club and watching like the cart dogs scramble to come get you, all that sort of stuff. And we pour out of a old Tercel was pretty awesome. Yes, we're here to play this country club.
Brought my clubs.
Swoop it in between the Porsche and the Audi.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're here to play.
Bunch of kids with uncut hair.
Could you fish our Busch Light out of the trunk too? That'd be great.
Yeah. Cans falling on the floor as you open the door.
there was definitely some satisfaction to that. Like if I ever get a chance to go to Augusta National, I'm rolling up in the crappiest car I can find.
I mean, that's the entire plot line or shtick of Happy Gilmore, right? I mean, that's the entire line. It's the snootiness of golf mixed with everyday.
Oh, it's Caddyshack too.
Yeah,
sure. It's definitely the.
It's a joke that always works.
It's the recipe.
Not in the second one. Either of them. Both bad sequels.
Oh, the second one was terrible. Oh, there are two sequels? I didn't even know.
No, Caddyshack 2.
Is there a Caddyshack 3?
No, but Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh, I see.
Both bad sequels.
Well, Happy Gilmore 2 might have been the worst movie that's ever been made. And somehow online it became a thing where you couldn't say how crappy it was. Mm-hmm. You remember that? Everybody on the Snap Talk was like, how dare you say something negative about the worst movie that's ever been made.
Happy Gilmore 2 has a Rotten Tomatoes score, which doesn't mean anything, but a Rotten Tomatoes score of 62%. What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score is for Caddyshack 2?
Is it lower? No. Because Happy Gilmore 2 should be a 0. Didn't they swap out Bill Murray for Dan Aykroyd?
It is... Yes, I think so. Let me get the full cast here. Cast and crew. What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes is?
Oh, I don't know the scale well enough. Like, what is usually a 0 or whatever on Rotten Tomatoes?
Very few zeros.
42.
4.
4?
Single digits.
4.
Meaning, how they do it is it's an aggregate score. They average it out. If they get 100 reviews and one of them's good, you get a 1% score on Rotten Tomato. So that means 4 out of every 100 or 1 out of every 25 was a positive score.
What was Happy Gilmore 2, 60?
62%.
There's no way that thing got 62 out of 100 good reviews. No chance.
Don't ask me. I fell asleep. I told you I turned on the first scene, I fell asleep, and then I woke up and it was the very last scene.
The whole plot hinged around. Now
You
tried.
ruined it. You spoiled it for us right out of the gate, which was the funniest thing you've done.
No. But like, the whole plot hinged around some sort of like calf surgery that made you a super golfer. Am I remembering that right?
I only saw, again, you spoiled it. I saw the spoiler because it does happen early, but it is a somewhat big spoiler if you haven't seen it, pertaining to the first one. And then I woke up and they were like all walking down the road together.
Yeah, because I was
know
upset.
what happened.
Because I'm a Julie Bowen fan. I loved Modern Family, and I was like, oh, at least there's a redeeming quality of this movie that Julie Bowen's going to be
Because she's very funny in the first one.
She is.
She's
Yeah,
good in the
she's
first
a
one.
good character, and she's a funny actress. She was great in Boston Legal.
Yeah.
Anyway,
She only makes a brief appearance.
she dies in the first.
I didn't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet.
The first 5 minutes
People may
of the
have
show.
been saving it for the Masters to watch Happy Gilmore 2 during the Masters. But you're right. Julie Bowen is only basically makes a cameo in this movie.
Boom, deceased.
Dead.
Wow, the only thing I was looking forward to about this movie. Because Adam Sandler hasn't made a good movie since Happy Gilmore 1. And even if you qualify that as a good movie, I mean, certainly a guy who lost his fastball. You like his weird, serious roles. I'm not even counting that.
You're not counting Uncut Gems.
No.
I ruined a date night for you.
You certainly did. That's a funny story. Because we were right in the midst of babyhood, like with the baby, like where you really don't get any time to yourself. And we had sent the baby, I think, to my mom's, and we were going to do like an afternoon date.
Yeah.
But both of us were so exhausted, we decided not to go like out. And we
throw
just,
something on.
Like, let's throw something on. And I was like, hey, Ben, we're just going to throw something on. You're a movie guy. Anything I should see?
The Safdie Brothers Uncut Gems.
Ben's like Uncut Gems.
It's a thrill ride.
So really, we're just looking for like a mindless break, and we get the most. I mean, like mental
panic-inducing anxiety.
Anxiety. That's the
driven.
word
Yeah.
I'm looking for. A movie that is just 1,000% anxiety. I was like gripping my couch the whole time.
But Kevin Garnett's in it.
It's one of those movies where you just get frustrated because the character makes the wrong decision every single time.
Yeah. It's true.
Every single time. It's like, no, don't do that, dude. It's like watching a horror movie, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Like, don't go into that room. What are you doing?
But has the same, like, makes you feel bad watching it trait.
It's certainly
So I
uncomfortable.
apologize. It was my fault.
But has Adam Sandler... I remember the last Adam Sandler comedy I even gave a chance was Little Nicky.
Yeah,
You ever see that one?
I didn't watch that one. No. Big Daddy was, of course, big when I was in high school, and I watched Hubie Halloween during COVID.
I don't even know what that is.
It's his Halloween movie.
Wait,
he turns into a werewolf, I think.
You know what? I'll take it back. His animated franchise, the vampire one,
Yeah, Hotel Transylvania.
is pretty good.
The first couple are funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right.
There's
Apologies.
our Adam Sandler breakdown. But
Ash,
honestly,
you have a favorite Adam Sandler?
don't watch Happy Gilmore 2.
It's Happy Gilmore's
Yeah.
my all-timer. I am a big fan of Billy Madison as well, though.
Yeah.
LT's cameo in Waterboy might be the best. I know we've drafted
yeah.
cameos.
Fair.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't remember if we drafted that or not. But him standing up
I don't think we've done sports cameos. We should do that. We should put that on the list.
on the list for what you got
Sports
Wednesday.
cameos.
Okay, here's my question, though. Sandler remade The Longest Yard.
Uh-huh.
Were you a fan of it?
Oh, I never saw it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw it either.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was pretty decent.
I didn't
Okay.
like the original Longest Yard.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Well,
think
that
I've
would
seen it
that would probably change a few things then.
But wasn't it Burt Reynolds in the original?
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Burt shows up back in this.
Yes, he
this-
does.
The remake.
But I remember to this day. Do you remember the old Sandy Dollar theaters, the ones at the Sandy
I lived
Mall?
in Sugar House. It was the Dollar Theater in Sugar House.
But I watched The Waterboy at the Sandy Dollar theaters, and I remember LT doing his cameo, and he said, "Kids, don't smoke crack." And I'm not kidding you. He had been arrested for crack like a week before.
Yeah, it's a good joke.
It was an amazing cameo because it had to be filmed like a year before, and was absolutely relevant to the day.
Yeah.
Waterboy, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I enjoyed it. I'm easily entertained, though.
Yeah. Fine.
Slapstick humor's its own thing.
Yeah. Totally fine.
What's her name was pretty funny. The gal from About Schmidt.
Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible movie about Schmidt.
It's fine.
It is not. All right. Where do you want to start today, Ben? The Mammoth clinch.
Let's talk Mammoth. That's a
clinched
huge deal.
Their first playoff, I guess, berth ever. I'm still confused if we're counting Phoenix or not, but I suppose we're not.
The Mammoth or not, seems like the rest of the NHL was very mad last night that they weren't going back to the days of when they were the Winnipeg Jets, because they were a lot of, the NHL tweeted it out and Frank Saravalli tweeted it out and all the, insiders for the NHL tweeted it out, the Mammoth making it for the first time. And a bunch of Arizona fans were angry and a bunch of Winnipeg fans were angry. And whatever, it doesn't matter here, neither here nor there.
Well, hey, I have sympathy for the good folks of Winnipeg. I have none for the good folks of Phoenix.
A lot of hatred towards Alex Marullo last night, the former owner of the Coyotes, who just let that thing absolutely collapse.
And deserves what he gets.
Here's what my thought was last night, and I was left wondering, and I'm curious about your opinion on it. I think this portends as a positive sign for Ryan Smith's ownership of sports teams. It's kind of been the big question about the Jazz. He inherited a very well-built team from the Millers when he bought them. He reinvested in them. It lasted a year or two. I can't remember exactly the timeline. And then they blew it up, and he started this very long rebuild, which I think is probably the right strategy, but it's certainly been painful. And a lot of teams start rebuilds and don't know how to get out of it. And we will see if the Jazz figure out how to get out of it. He did inherit a team that the entire conversation 2 summers ago was that this Mammoth team is ending their rebuild. Like, they're coming out of it. They're in a really good spot. This team could be cool. And it turns out that they actually have gotten there. Now, they've actually been pretty aggressive in building this team along the way. They made a big trade for Sergachev, and they've gone out and they've gotten Uyghur, and they've gone out and they've gotten J.J. Peterka. They haven't just kind of rested on their laurels. They've been aggressive. They've made trades on draft night. Does Ryan Smith get credit for this team making the playoffs this year? And is that a feather in his cap as it comes to team building and being a winning owner?
Short answer? No.
Okay.
But certainly with some subtlety, because I don't think we can draw a conclusion on Ryan Smith as an owner.
Yet, of course.
Yeah. And this doesn't mark that. And they are making the playoffs because of him, and I'll explain why. But he did not build something from the ground up. He did inherit, all those grumpy Phoenix fans. Why didn't they, make the playoffs more or have more success? Well, it was because the owner didn't support the franchise the way it needed to be supported, and they were in a perpetual rebuild, not unlike the Phoenix Suns for a long time. And so, yeah, a bunch of young players came with it. And here's where I will give Ryan credit, and then we can talk about some other things. He identified the pieces, including Bill Armstrong, in the franchise that worked, and stuck with it.
Yeah.
I would throw Bear in there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
He saw that was working in a franchise that wasn't working, and kept that continuity, which I think is smart. And then put his imprint where he could. He hired a smart guy as the president of the whole operation, right? And then supported the franchise with infrastructure, contracts.
Mm-hmm.
I think a couple of savvy trades. We'll see how that pays off, but
Sure.
That's not really him. That goes back to the trusting in the people that are there.
Not all of them have been grand slams so far.
But the goal changed, and he had the ability to make the goal change. Morello, or whatever that bozo's name, had different goals and didn't have the ability to make the goal change. The goal wasn't hoisting a Stanley Cup trophy. The goal was, I don't even know, keeping the lights on. At one point, finding a place to play.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very much a Donald Sterling-esque approach to owning a franchise. And Donald Sterling will always be a beacon of bad ownership. And that's kind of hey, I don't care about fielding a good team. I'm going to carve my, whatever profit off the top of, saving everywhere else. And so Ryan Smith is not that, which I think is a good thing. And he had already shown that with the Jazz, in my opinion, by, investing in the infrastructure and showing support and doing all of that. If you're going to hold on the floor results against the owner, I'm assuming you're implying the rebuild and people out there who think that wasn't a smart thing to do. I don't agree.
I'm with you.
I think rebuilding was the only decision at one point. Again, they could have rebooted around Donovan and Rudy, but that was going to be so difficult.
Yeah.
Given where they were from a personnel standpoint, an asset standpoint, capped out, all of that stuff. The rebuild made total sense to me.
And
from an ownership standpoint, what can you really criticize about the rebuild? If anything, he's been great. He's held the line.
Well, and the fact that the NBA is now changing what the rebuild is going to look like, and that's their attempt, is to get rid of this Jazz's current pathway. They may have gotten in at the very right time. Now, they may also be the reason that the NBA is changing some of its rules because of how they've handled this for the last 4 years. But yes, I'm with you, and I think sometimes when I've called Ryan a infrastructure owner. Sometimes I think that can sound like a pejorative or dismissive, because there are people who get into the business who just want to own a team because it's a good financial investment, both because the team grows and because the property that the team plays on becomes super valuable, or you have sway over a city, which Ryan has gotten some of, certainly. But I think a lot of those owners do it and then do not care at all what happens with their teams. I'm a White Sox fan, and I think Jerry Reinsdorf couldn't care whether or not the Chicago Bulls or Chicago White Sox win another game. But he loves that they own, the buildings that they're in, and that they can twist the arms of the taxpayers in Chicago and try and build new areas.
The best example of what you're talking about is the Miami Marlins.
Yes, exactly right.
Yeah. They rebooted that whole thing and poured money into it only for the owner to cheap out and then sell it.
Yeah. Build an entertainment center around my thing, and then I own all this.
This is terrible. Yeah,
so Ryan has not done that.
No.
And I do think he came in with this hockey team, and yes, clearly they were on the rise and had a bunch of young talent. And I think that young talent's probably performed even better than a lot of people thought. Dylan Guenther's on the verge of 40 goals. Logan Cooley looks like a star. Clayton Keller's playing the best hockey of his life. He looks absolutely incredible out there and was great last night. But then he has built around it, both the infrastructure of building out Delta Center to make sure that it's competitive, and now a practice facility to make sure they're comfortable. But I think going out and investing in people, Chris Armstrong coming in as the president or whatever his exact role is, to help build out some of those issues, I think are positives and a sign that he is serious about winning and not just serious about seeing his wealth grow. And that's a positive for fans.
Well, I don't think he's ever shown anything to the contrary, honestly.
Yeah, I'm with you. But there's a lot of talk in ownership, professional ownership. There's a lot of, we're going to do what's best. And it's like, best for you or best for the fans. And I do think Ryan is operating. He's showing that he's operating with the fans in mind, certainly with his hockey team. And I do think the Jazz are on the verge of being much better next season.
Now, I have no idea how true this actually is, but it would appear to me that he's operating with the community in mind.
Yeah.
I've said this to a zillion people. I love that he bought Southtown Mall.
Mm-hmm.
That was a mall. I think warmly of that mall. I didn't live in Sandy, but I had buddies down there, so I spent a lot of time there in my youth. My buddy Woody worked at the Foot Locker, which is kind of funny. But I like Southtown Mall. It was in desperate need of some attention, or it was going to go the way of Cottonwood Mall, the other mall of my youth.
There's a Trader Joe's there now. It's cool.
It's better than it was. It was a hole in the ground for 20 years.
For a long time.
But yes, there is a Trader Joe's there now, and a Chase Bank, and I think a burrito place.
Yeah.
But Southtown needed something, and to buy that whole thing and fit it out for hockey, which is amazing, and they're going to do the same thing for the Jazz, but then keeping the same, the idea of creating a community beacon. I don't know, how true has it been that you can watch hockey and stuff down there, like practice and workouts and all that?
I haven't done that. I know that was the plan. I don't even know if they started it this year.
I love that concept.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I love the idea.
I know you can go skate there. I know they do have
getting the community on the ice.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have a bunch of public skating and leagues and whatnot. When the Mammoth are on the ice, it's being utilized.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Yep.
That stuff is terrific and should be noted. So I don't think one playoff berth for the hockey club either. I mean, I'll put it this way. I think it's a good sign that both clubs are under good ownership. I think it's a good sign. I'm not going to draw any conclusions. The difference between Phoenix and Utah, and this is where you can give them credit, is Dylan Guenther wouldn't still be on the team.
Yeah, so this is maybe the better way to rephrase it. Maybe we don't know. Do you think this team makes the playoffs this year if they're still in Arizona?
No.
I'm with you. Meaning Ryan is above replacement level.
But that's the thing. That was my point about Sterling is let's not compare.
Sure.
If you
Alex
compare,
Alex Morello was the worst owner in sports at the moment.
Let's not. They were playing at Arizona State's community rink,
5,000 feet, 5,000 seat stadium
with no hope
and couldn't sell out
of playing anywhere else.
Yeah.
To the point where the NHL basically forced him out.
Absolutely. No question did.
Found somebody else to take the franchise because he was doing such a bad job. So let's not get caught up in comparing him to that guy. If we are, then he's doing way better than that guy.
Yes. If that's the baseline, then Ryan's the greatest owner of all time.
Are they playing
That's not the baseline.
Are they playing at Murray Park?
No. Is the Gallivan Center available?
Do they have a better venue than Murray Park? Well, then he's killing it.
Yeah.
And I love what they're doing with the arena. I love the concept of the raised ice. I love all that. I love it that he kept it downtown.
Yes, to the point of
didn't have
buying
to do that.
Southtown, there was a real push to move that thing to Southtown, which
Absolutely.
actually is great because it's not Draper, and no offense to everyone in Draper, but he didn't take it further and further and further south. I believe in keeping your buildings in the heart of your city, and Salt Lake is still the heart of the state. So I'm with you. I'm
It's
very
great for
glad
downtown.
it's here. Yeah.
As somebody who works right across the street, pretty stoked it's staying there.
Yeah, good for us.
Don't know what that building would become without the Jazz and the Mammoth,
Yeah.
but pretty stoked it's there.
Yep.
And pretty excited they're going to refit this part of town. And I know people get grumpy about the taxes, and I get why that is controversial. I don't even know if I'm 100% in favor, to be honest, but I'm pretty excited to see the results.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you.
And I love the concept. And not to get too lost in this stuff, but I can't remember who said it, but someone talked about the convention center being a barrier between one part of downtown and another part of downtown is 1,000% true.
Yeah.
So if you can figure out how to connect those two parts of downtown, that's good for everybody.
Yeah. Agreed.
And including the millions of people that come into town for conventions and skiing and to visit Temple Square and all of the things. By the way, side note, have you seen the estimates of people that are going to come to Salt Lake to see the temple before it's rededicated?
I have not.
It's like bonkers. I can't remember the figures, but when I read it,
5 million people.
there's like 5 million people.
Yeah. It's going to take, what did they say, 7 months? So they're going to have it open for open house.
So, pretty wild.
It's better than the Olympics.
We want to look good for those. And the Olympics is coming back. We want, yeah. All right, stay tuned. Top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com coming up next. Congrats to Nick Olchek and Will Trubshaw and the broadcast team over there for contributing absolutely nothing.
Picking up some extra days of work.
Stay tuned. More next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Whirls around and down.
97.5, the KSL Sports Zone is your exclusive home of the Utah Jazz. And we want to send you to the Delta Center to see the Jazz in action. Listen every Tuesday for the Jazz Ticket Tuesday Sounder at 30 past the hour, every hour, all day long. And if you're caller number 12, you'll be on your way to an upcoming game.
Buy one, you'll get one free.
It's Jazz Ticket Tuesday, every Tuesday throughout the NBA season on your radio home for the Utah Jazz. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope, she bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Top 3 stories at KSLSports.com is brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. Christian's baby sabbatical continues. So Hatch
Jeez, how long is this thing going to last?
is with us.
Another
Baby's been
week or
alive for
so?
6 days. What's going on here?
Come on.
Come on, man.
Hatch, where do you want to start?
Yeah, number 1, Utah Jazz host the final home game of the season. It's here already.
Do we have any idea who's going to play?
Well, Ace Bailey is not on the injury report, so that's a positive sign. I do think they may allow him to try and go for 50 tonight. I will be curious how the Jazz approach this game. Now, there are some indicators that they may not be interested in winning at all costs. Kyle Filipowski's not playing. Bryce Sensabaugh is out due to rest. So that is two of the
Gotta
Jazz's.
get that rest with 2 games to go.
You got to save them.
Gotta save it for the finale, Bryce.
There are, between those two guys over the last, I don't know, Jake, you've been covering this team as long as I have, longer. What are those guys averaging? 50 points total over the last 2 weeks?
Yep.
Between Flip and Bryce. So that's a lot of points out the door. That's meaning Oscar Shibwe and Kennedy Chandler and Bez and Bang and Cody Williams are probably your starting lineup. So we'll see if the Jazz can put it on Memphis. Memphis doesn't have a huge motivation to win either.
Nor are they going to play anybody?
No, I don't think Memphis is going to play anyone. Memphis is sitting on 25 wins. They're tied with the Mavericks at 25 wins, and they are 1 game behind the New Orleans Pelicans. So there is some value to Memphis not adding other games, similar for the Jazz, who are tied with the Kings.
I just have ESPN in front of me. Do you have an updated injury for Memphis?
Let me pull it up real quick.
Because ESPN tends to be a little bit behind.
No, it's off, and the NBA is good. In fact, there was one that was just released 5 minutes ago. Santi Aldama out, Contavious Caldwell-Pope out, Brandon Clark out. He just got in trouble for drug trafficking. Cedric Coward out, Zach Edey out, Taylor Hendricks out, Gigi Jackson out, Ty Jerome out, John Morant out, Scottie Pippen Jr. out. Big one, Olivier Maxence Prosper.
But not
doubtful.
Walt.
Javon Small, questionable. Cam Spencer out. Jalen Wells out.
But Walt not on there.
Walt not on there. We're going to see the return of Mr. Clayton.
And who knows who else?
That's more than the Jazz have.
There is another injury report I saw earlier that had Walt Clayton as questionable due to a hit.
Yeah, day to day. But what Ben has should be
I
more.
would say
This is
more
the
up to-
official
yeah.
NBA one.
Yeah, so there you
wait,
go.
no, it's here. I'm sorry. It is here. I skipped over after Brandon Clark. Questionable. Hip soreness. Walt Clayton.
Which means out.
Probably.
Which is too bad. I wanted to see Walt play.
He has not looked dramatically better.
I still think that's a dude with some potential.
I agree. I feel the same way about Taylor Hendricks.
Oh, yeah. Well, Taylor's got the physical tools,
Yeah.
certainly. But Walt did some good things when he was here.
There's a lot there. There's absolutely he's got some real tools.
He did get beat out a little bit by Isaiah Collier.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, Isaiah's in his second year and was a much higher ranked prospect. Now, that doesn't mean a ton, but maybe by year 2, Walt Clayton has caught up to Isaiah. And that's very possible.
Isaiah's an incredibly flawed player, though.
Yes.
And honestly, Walt should have beat him out.
I thought he would. My kind of prediction before the season is I thought Walt might have been the Jazz's starting point guard by mid-year. Now, I didn't see Keontae George turning into a near all-star, and he did. And Walt was not quite as prepared for the adjustment to the NBA as a lot of college seniors I thought might be.
See, I thought Collier grabbed it a little bit. I don't know if I'm
right.
blaming Walt as much as giving Collier some credit. He said, yeah, I'm flawed, but watch this. I'm going to carve out something. We talk about roles a lot. You could play Isaiah Collier 20 minutes a night running over backup point guards.
Yeah, you absolutely can. It might be good enough to keep him around for next year.
And making good decisions.
Walt's problem, let me pull it up. He just hadn't made shots this year. 30% from 3 from a guy who that was his calling card coming out of college. I would not rule out that makes a significant jump next year, and then he becomes a very reasonable player.
Well, Memphis is going to give him the opportunity.
Yeah.
On a rebuilding team,
Yeah.
so he'll have the chance.
No question about it. So last home game for the Jazz tonight. Skee-Lo performing at halftime. You going to pop your head in?
No. I'm on the air.
Let somebody else do it.
Skee ball?
Skee-Lo.
What is...
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was
yeah.
a baller.
Okay, I know that one.
You get to see that live at halftime today.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I've not seen him.
All right.
Like most people, I've not seen Skee-Lo perform live, but I will tonight.
Okay.
Can you imagine not playing that song? Can you imagine performing in an NBA arena and then being like, I've got some other songs I want to show off? No, Skee-Lo.
Well, it'd be like going to see Crosby, Stills, and Nash and them not playing Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, which absolutely happened to me. This is such a side topic, but I get so frustrated with these touring acts that are like, oh, well, I get tired of playing the hit. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's your responsibility. Correct. You shouldn't have gotten famous as a band.
Yeah, I'm sorry you wrote that song.
Yeah, sorry you have a hit.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there would be dying to be on this, what do they call a legacy tour, where you're just farming money.
The reason you're here is because of that song.
I told you the Mark Knopfler guy was probably my most frustrating experience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's...
Guys, we're not doing anything from Dire Straits today.
Nothing from Dire Straits. Nothing.
It's all my solo
Until
stuff.
like the fourth encore, which nobody at that point was really. The only reason people were applauding for it is because they wanted to hear Money for Nothing. Like, we came for one song, and you played us your entire solo career catalog. Everything.
Here's my slow stuff.
Every crappy, whacked out thing you wrote in the late 90s.
Just do the opening riff over and over.
People just want to see Money for Nothing. Just, would you play it? But then I had the opposite problem when I saw Foghat, where everyone wanted to see him play Slow Ride, and they played it in the second song. And then it was like, well, where are you going to go from here? So maybe find the sweet spot for the hit. I don't know. But don't complain about it, certainly. What's next?
All right, number 2, the Utah Mammoth have clinched a Stanley Cup playoffs berth.
Very cool. Didn't know if it was going to happen last night. The intensity in that game was through the roof, and I thought the Mammoth came out like gangbusters. They looked incredible in the first period. They never really let Nashville get back into the game, but they were playing on their heels a little bit in the second period. And then bounced back and just kind of kept running away with it. And then the Ducks made it very easy. The Ducks really trounced San Jose last night. So while that game started after the Mammoth game, it was 3-0 in the first period. It felt like as long as the Mammoth could hold on, they would lock it up. But honestly, amazing to see the Stars show out for the Mammoth the way they have recently. It was Logan Cooley at the beginning of this stretch on the road who started playing well. And then over the last 2 games, I mean, Sunday you saw a hat trick from Clayton Keller. And then last night, you just saw an absolutely Mammoth performance, 3 assists, and they were all just, he's the best player on the ice type of plays. You know, he's just weaving through the defense, getting in front of the net, and then finding a wide open shooter. And he just looked awesome last night. They
are still 5 points ahead of Los Angeles for the top wild card slot. So wrapped up the berth, but now need to wrap up that top slot to avoid the Avalanche.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the magic number is now to clinch.
Nick told us 92 to 95, and they're sitting at 90.
And they clinched the playoff, which was great. Yeah, what is going to be the magic number they have to get to with, what do they have, 4 games remaining now? So a lot of points still available with 4 games remaining if they were to lose out. So you can't blow it.
But they've got a 5-point lead. And so I bet you old Nick was pretty spot on when he told us 92 to 95
to
wrap up the first slot.
Yeah, it's probably got to be 3 or 4 points total, to be able to lock this up. I mean, well, let's see. How many games does – let me pull up the standings really quick. How many games do the Kings have left? Are they sitting at 77 or 78 games played?
I don't know, Ben. Don't do math on you.
Kings have played 78 games, so they can pick up a total of 8 more points, so they could get up to 93. And I don't know what the tiebreakers are, but yes. So you're
that's
probably
if they got them all.
That's if they get them all.
Right.
Which they're not going to do. But if the Mammoth probably, I guess, can get 3 points. 4 points is probably your true magic
Should
number.
do it.
4 points, they couldn't catch you at all. So, but 3 points probably does it. 2 might even do it.
That's a good day for the Mammoth.
Well, and again, the amazing thing is they clinched the wild card spot before the Pacific Division has been clinched. So it's like the clinching your playoff berth before the actual division's ahead of you because they have more points than those teams. It's amazing.
One thing Ryan has done that he's really leaned into the beer culture.
He has.
The Tusk beer thing?
Yep.
Are you going to get one of those?
I don't think I'm going to a game. So, and you can't do that as a media member.
Well, you can, but you'd have to pour it out.
I'm with you. The Mammoth games that I have been to, they really do lean into the beer camp.
Oh, yeah. I'm there all the time.
Chug your beer. Slam your beers.
Well, we're right. Our studio's right next to a beer cart and a beer stand, and there's a beer line most of the night.
But yes, the Tusk mug only sells beer, and it's meant for chugging beer. It's got a ergonomical design, so it works with the air bubbles, I guess.
And to give the Millers credit, they started leaning more into you're going to have a beer at a basketball game. The last time they did a renovation, and they made it a lot more available, but did not lean into that at all for a long time.
The mug costs $28, including the beer, which is only $2 more than a normal beer. So is
that true?
It's a good price.
$28?
It's $28 for the big wooden mug or whatever it's made out of.
Is the Tusk made out of actual ivory?
Ivory, yeah, it is.
Is it the best beer ever brewed? $28 seems steep.
I don't know. What's a beer cost at a man? It's got to be $16. It's honestly not that crazy. And then you can refill it, right?
I once got swindled into buying a really expensive beer, but it was a really you know what? I don't need to tell
Neither
it.
here nor there.
No, what's next? What's next?
Let's go to Augusta with a Masters update.
Masters leaderboard. How about we were not on the air last night as it was happening, but Rory made a big push late.
You know, there's a big, not a tell-all book because it's not, I don't know, a juicy biography that's coming out about Rory. And it supposedly includes details about the media member. And that's, you know what, there's a story we haven't talked about nearly enough. The head coach of the Patriots and a prominent NFL reporter who get photographed having an affair.
Is that an affair? They have spouses or they're...
Oh, yeah, they both have
They're
spouses.
both married.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And there's some pictures purchased apparently by the New York Post.
Yeah, Diana Rossini obviously works for The Athletic.
Yeah.
She's worked for ESPN. She's married, and obviously Mike Rabel's been married, so it's
juicy.
It got shopped around apparently.
And apparently she just bags on her husband all the time publicly.
And people have been pulling all kinds of clips of her just ripping him.
Poor guy. But Rory, 5 under, and a tie with Sam Burns, of course. Rory got the career slam last year, winning at the Masters. A lot of people saying he's now playing without pressure. We'll see. I would never doubt Rory's ability to collapse at any moment, really.
Or any golfer, but Rory certainly.
Historically has had some epic ones. Old man Justin Rose is right there at 3 under par. He's 2 shots back. Wyndham Clark is at 4 under. So he's 1 shot off the pace. Patrick Reed, no longer leading, so happy about that.
How are you feeling about the scores?
I don't know. You think minus 20 is really going to win the Masters?
No, I don't think anyone's going to finish at minus 20. But maybe. As we talked to Bob yesterday, it was perfect weather.
It probably played too easy, honestly.
Yeah. Not a ton of great scores. I mean, 2 guys at minus 5 right now, like you mentioned, in Burns and McIlroy.
67 is a great score.
It is. But other than that, it's a lot of guys that are 2 under and 1 under. Clearly, the course is not just giving up points. So.
No, but it's not playing like the U.S. Open either, which I don't like. I want to see guys go out there and make birdies. Let's see here. I like shuffling down to the bottom. That's always fun.
Yeah, our guy Mike Weir.
Mike have a tough day?
Plus 10.
Yeah, that's rough.
Tied for 4th worst.
But, he's a former champion that you don't expect a ton out of. Bubba Watson at plus 5. John Rahm. What happened to John Rahm? Plus 5, and it feels like that dude just forgot how to play golf.
Liv killed him more than anybody.
He went over to Liv, and nobody can really push him.
Because for a minute, he was the greatest golfer on the planet.
Yeah.
And then, he went to Liv, cashed in, probably quit, which is exactly what I would do.
Just stop working.
Yeah, they gave the donkey the carrot. He stopped walking.
We'll have Brian Taylor on with you guys here in a bit. We had Bob Casper earlier this morning, and Bob essentially alluded to that fact. He's like, these guys are getting a lot of money.
Yeah.
They don't have anybody that's anywhere near their level in Liv, and
they get to wear shorts.
Yeah, the shorts made them soft.
They play rock music.
We're
during
playing
the
9
tournament.
holes.
Play some yacht rock. Let's go.
DeChambeau was plus 4.
Yeah.
And that was the dude that said 67 is his par at Augusta.
Okay.
All right, pal. Made his own club.
Shot a 76. Well, good luck.
Didn't work.
Print some new clubs.
Stay tuned. More Jake and Ben coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Just a bunch of guys sitting around and talking sports. This is Scotty G and friends.
Tony Jones from The Athletic. When you get blown out at home by a team that lost 16 in a row, I applaud that lack of effort. That was impressive by the Jazz.
The lengths that the Jazz are going to pull this off and to make sure that they keep that pick. I got to say, this is the best front office in the league at this point. I'm all in. Because they're going to keep their pick, all right? They're going to get a top 5 pick. Listen, you ready for me to get wild on here?
Let's go.
I'm going to get
Let's
wild
do it.
on this show.
Let's do it.
If the Utah Jazz get A.J. DeBancer, they're winning an NBA championship within 3 years.
Lloyd, you rolling on that? Lloyd's got
Lloyd, you got that?
Wow.
Catch Scotty G and friends weekdays from noon to 3 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're teaming up with Beehive Meals. We're honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer you know for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at KSLSports.com/contests, and then listen every Thursday afternoon to JJ and Alex for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week.
Big 12 schedules starting to, I don't want to say leak out, but being released. Specifically, the weekday games have been announced. There are going to be, I believe it's every team. I haven't taken stock or made a list of this, but here are the weekday games to be played by the Big 12 this football season. Friday, September 11th, Missouri at Kansas. September 18th, Houston at Texas Tech. October 9th, Iowa State at BYU. Good game. Going to be an interesting Iowa State team this year with the new head coach. October 30th, day before Halloween, Baylor at Central Florida. November 6th, TCU at Arizona. November 13th, Houston at Colorado. November 20th, Iowa State at Central Florida. So UCF gets a few of these. Iowa State also has a couple of these. November 26th, TCU at Texas Tech.
Thanksgiving night.
That's Thanksgiving night. And then the day after Thanksgiving, the University of Utah at home hosting West Virginia.
I like the Friday after Thanksgiving slot if I'm a fan.
I like Friday games. I know that there's big backlash right now amongst Texas Tech fans and Houston fans not wanting to play on a Friday night and robbing trillions of dollars from the Texas economy, apparently because you're going head to head with Friday Night Lights of high school football. It's not a thing here.
Why do you like Friday night games in general?
I just like having things on that I want to watch on Friday nights. As a viewer, I like spreading things out between Fridays and Saturdays.
Because I guess I'm not thinking as a viewer. I'm more thinking I can't stand weekday games because their start times can be no earlier than 7, especially in the West. So
well, I feel bad for new father Christian Esparza who has to work the game.
Yeah, hard pass. No, give me Saturday games. I don't like them. I understand them. That's why I wanted you to clarify. Like, I get why they do it. I understand it, but
I'm not
I
a particularly smart person. So, like, if there's a thing on TV, I'm like, oh, cool, TV's on, and I know this team.
Yeah.
So I will watch it.
Well, I can stream something else. I want the games on Saturday, and I want the kickoff to be pre-6 p.m.
I actually like staggering games on days, to be honest with you, because it makes it easier for me to watch Utah, West Virginia if BYU has to play on Saturday in the final week of the season, you know?
Like, Hatch, do you personally like anything about weekday games?
So in my circumstance, I actually don't mind them one bit. It allows me, because I think both of you know, college football is my jam.
Yeah.
That is and if a team like BYU that I cover heavily plays a Friday night, I got a full Saturday. I can watch everything else. Because if I'm covering BYU, it chews up 8 to 10 hours of that day.
And if I'm a fan and my team wins on Friday, I have the best Saturday because you're right.
Sure,
I just get to dial it up and I just get to take it in.
The vibes are great.
Yeah, it's great. Absolutely. And because I've always said this, I think college football is a sport for panickers. I think football in general is a sport for people with anxiety. It's so anxiety-inducing when I watch it that I imagine the fans of it feel the same way, but more so. So you win on Friday, and you're having a good day on Saturday. And by the way, I think Utah and BYU should both be favored in these games against Iowa State and West Virginia.
Do you think I care for 10 seconds about how people feel on their Saturday?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't care about that at all.
But I do.
That doesn't factor.
I'm telling you, I like shiny new things. So when there's a Friday, I'm like, oh, a team I know. That's
that
fun.
doesn't factor into my feeling at all.
Now-
No, I'm the grumpy old man who yelled at Bronco. It's not in the afternoon anymore. Let's put college football where it belongs.
Let me insert one thing on the BYU side of this. That game on October 9th, the following week is BYU Notre Dame. This gives them extra prep time for the biggest game on their schedule outside of Utah.
Well, that's an interesting on the plus side because most of the time coaches hate it.
I agree.
Man, NFL, they hate playing on Thursday.
Now, I will tell you, because I'm not Jake Hatch, I do not watch Wednesday Maction or whatever. Like, I am with you. There is some, like, time and place.
Come on, the Fun Belt's fantastic.
There is a time and a place for college football. I have just expanded it to accept that Friday and sometimes Thursdays, that can be a part of the conversation, especially Thursday, November 26th, Thanksgiving. It's a football holiday.
That I'm fine with. That's a different a different circumstance. I actually think that Friday is cool and can fit into holiday weekends quite nicely.
What I am glad is these are home games here at BYU and at Utah.
You're going to start in the middle of the night. It's going to be cold.
Mm-hmm. I'm not outside.
But good time. Well, you know, you're thinking about you. I'm thinking about me.
No, you're not. No, you're not going to be outside either. Why would you be outside? You're at home as well.
Probably.
You going to these games?
No.
Well, then you're going to be inside where it's toasty
I
warm as
haven't.
well. And you don't care about anyone else. You just said that.
I haven't covered a game in a while. but I do have PTSD about those post games.
Oh, I did a lot of pre-half and posts for Utah and BYU, but right up there on campus.
But even sitting in my couch,
The sprinklers turn on us.
Games ending at midnight is just too much.
I mean, Jazz season's back at this point for us for both of these games. October 9th is preseason. November 27th, Jazz are a month into the year.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people like the fall.
Yep.
A lot going on.
Yep.
Stay tuned. More Jake and Ben coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on
Carvana.
Pickup fees may apply.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson, thank you for making us a part of your Friday. Ben, I didn't, we were talking about this off the air. I had no idea people took spring break so seriously around here.
Yeah?
It's like the whole city moved.
It's been vacated.
Really? We were talking about how traffic has been nothing all week long. My Sadie had soccer practice on Tuesday. I think there were like 3 kids there.
It's a 3-on-3 game.
Her coach shortened it by half an hour because the kids were so gassed because they didn't have time to wait in line. You know, usually you're waiting for your turn or whatever. You have a chance to get a break. Kids were all dead like half hour before practice
Does everyone go to Southern Utah? Disney? What are we doing?
I would imagine all over, but Southern Utah used to be a
I know it's where all the Jeep people go with during, they go to Moab during spring
Jeep
break.
safari. Is that still a thing?
Probably.
I know kids used to go to St. George when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
That always seemed weird to me because what is there to do in St. George especially then, for like a 16-year-old?
Hotel pool. Yeah.
Go to the Denny's? I mean, that never made sense to me. I imagine a lot of people go to Vegas and Mesquite.
Sure.
Well, you don't know.
Take the kids to Wendover?
You don't go to Vegas.
Yeah, it's true.
But
also, spring break only applies to people who have kids. We don't get spring break at work.
Right. No, that's what my question to you off the air was.
I'm totally with you.
People, I guess, save their vacation to take it around spring break.
Yes.
But Vegas is a great place to take your kids. Endless amount to do in Vegas for children.
Go to the hotel, lay in bed. Dad's gonna be back in 12 hours. I hope we still have a house.
No. Like,
I've never done Vegas right, I guess.
Go see the Blue Man Group. Go hit the roller coaster at New York, New York. The endless amounts of arcades that are there, Ben. There's plenty to do.
Ride the train.
Which one?
There's like kind of the sky subway thing not subway. But
what do they call it?
The
The
L
monorail?
train, the monorail that goes hotel to hotel.
Yeah, plenty of stuff to do.
Sure.
People probably fled to Bear Lake, although it's quite chilly up there still, I'm sure.
About 10 degrees less than we have here.
And
but
the
water's got to be
unswimmable.
Ice. Yeah.
But yeah, see, it feels like the whole town
I'm with
is
you.
out of town.
Everyone's left.
Everybody's gone.
Except us. Even Esparza took the week off.
Yeah, what's up with that? Spring
Had
break.
a baby and immediately took time off.
Christian is the type of dude who's going to be taking spring break even when his kid's like 3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, spring
get
break.
out of town.
What do you want? Spring break, man. Do you think people that live in spring break destinations hate spring break?
Yes.
Like with a passion, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you live on the, what do they call that? The Redneck Riviera? What is that in Florida? You know what I'm talking about? Like Jackson City? Is that a thing?
Sure. I believe that.
Anyway, those folks in those small like beach towns that just get invaded by idiots.
Yep.
Like, imagine if 100,000 idiots just flooded your town for a whole week.
I feel bad for the Bear Lake people. We come up starting Memorial Day and don't leave until Labor Day.
Yeah, but Bear Lake, you're attracting a different type of. Come on, comparing.
Sure, yes, it's not people on spring break going to cause trouble, but I will tell you, it's a rowdier crowd than it used to be.
Oh, I believe that.
And the lines are insane, and all of a sudden the grocery store's packed.
But it's still the type of people that have no problem eating a raspberry milkshake.
Sure, yes, correct. There is not. You're not seeing a lot of people stumble down Main Street.
No, you're not seeing a 21-year-old.
I still don't think there's a bar in Bear Lake, which seems like a ripe business opportunity.
I'm sure. Well,
There's
I
one
don't
right
know.
across the border. I know exactly.
Yeah,
where it's
right.
at.
Yeah, there is.
Did you ever take one of those spring break like trips when you were old enough to enjoy such a thing?
My senior year, we went to Fort Lauderdale. Now, I wasn't a drinker or anything, so I didn't quote them. I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed that we walked around as 18-year-olds, not because I was partying.
I went to Cancun when I was in college. MTV was there.
Oh.
Listen. Oh, well, yeah. I saw Eminem and Dr. Dre.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
On the beach in Cancun. It was cool. But let me tell you, I went to Cancun last year for my wife's 40th birthday. That experience and my experience as a teenager, completely different.
Yeah, I'm
and
sure.
those poor people that have to put up with the idiot teenagers, I do feel bad for them. Yeah. I do. I feel bad for the entire Cancun community.
For sure.
And by the way, as a proud American, not our best foot forward to a foreign country. You know what I mean?
Probably fair.
Not putting out a great message.
Not the best representation of who we actually are.
To our neighbors to the south. So anyway, happy spring break to all those folks out there who observe.
Yep.
Man, Ben, you want to go an overall NBA segment? I mean, tonight's game with the Jazz in Memphis is going to be ugly.
It is crazy that this is the end of this run. It is crazy that this is the last home game for the Jazz of this
era.
Whole thing. It's almost hard to kind of, in a sense, I think people have already accepted it because Jaren Jackson Jr. is here, and when that trade was made, it felt like, okay, the clock is just ticking, and the Jazz have achieved their goal, and they're going to hold on to their pick, et cetera, et cetera. It is bizarre that this is finally over, and this is probably going to be the last super goofy game we see until the Jazz are resting players, until, if they've qualified for the playoffs and are just trying to be healthy. But yeah, I guess that is strange. But what is amazing is how few spots in the NBA have been decided. Like, you go tonight, there's still a lot of matchups that we don't know what the playoffs are going to look like quite yet. In fact, this just got released an hour ago. In the West, the Thunder have locked up the 1 seed. The Spurs have locked up the 2 seed. 3, 4, 5 could still be any one of Denver, the Lakers, or the Rockets, which is really funny because 2 of those teams absolutely stink. And the other one's the Denver Nuggets. Timberwolves are sitting at 6. I would rather play either the Lakers or the Rockets, or then I would Minnesota. So someone's going to try and position themselves. It would be really funny if we end up with the Lakers-Rockets first-round series, which is 2 teams that one of those has to advance, and neither of them's particularly good. Phoenix is locked into the play-in. Golden State's locked into the play-in at 10, and then there's a big game tonight between the Clippers and the Trailblazers. They go head-to-head. Whoever wins that game is going to be most likely the 8th seed, and the other team's going to fall to 9, which gives you a difference of how many play-in tournament games you have to win to make the playoffs. And they're both just fodder for the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round.
If I were the 7th or the 8th seed, I'd be so annoyed. You're like, we should be playing a playoff series.
Yeah, this should just be done. Should be wrapped.
Dinking around with these teams that don't belong. I mean, not that the 7 or 8 seed is that great, but all of a sudden you have a chance to lose out. That stinks.
I want to look
for some worthless games to solve a problem that it did not solve.
At all.
At all.
Yeah.
And doesn't even provide all that interesting of television. I mean, are you going to be all that locked into playing games? I mean, but I mean the
fans,
overall fan. You.
Do you want to watch the 18th and 19th best teams in the NBA play head to head? And some of them, I honestly suspect, may not have that much interest in making the playoffs.
You mean all of them?
Some probably, like Charlotte wants to make it. Uh-huh. Charlotte is in the play-in and is like, this is a really good opportunity for us. But, okay, so here's an interesting one. Portland, their first-round draft pick this year is protected 1 through 14. So if it falls from 15 to 30, it goes to the Chicago Bulls. This is a good draft. Next year is a bad draft. You may just want to hold on to it this year. So they may want to lose in the play-in tournament to hold on to their pick.
Well, I don't think the play-in affects the pick, does it?
If you make the playoffs, you don't get a lottery pick.
Is that true?
Uh-huh.
So you can
have a better record and miss the playoffs and hold on to your lottery pick.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So they would still – the lottery pick does go to teams who miss the playoffs.
So Portland's going to boot
Portland could
play-in.
They could if they felt like getting this year's 14th pick is more valuable.
I'd be excited to hear the NBA investigation into that one.
Well, the NBA just got finished investigating.
You jumped on my transition there, Ben. Did you? NBA statement from yesterday about investigating the Sacramento Kings for And I find everything about this story hilarious. Let me just preface that. So they investigated Sacramento for the intentional foul where they fouled Seth Curry to send him to the line in a game that they were leading at the time. But
They were up 100-101.
But did not behoove them to win.
Correct.
The NBA said, quote, "The NBA has completed an investigation of the Sacramento Kings and head coach Doug Christie's decision to foul intentionally late in the team's game against Golden State Warriors on April 7th. The league's investigation determined that Christie mistakenly believed that the Warriors were not in the penalty and therefore instructed his team to foul in an attempt to stop the clock and utilize one of the team's remaining timeouts. The investigation found that Christie made no intentional effort to give the Warriors a shooting foul or to cause the Kings to lose the game," unquote. So the league said, we're not going to find Sacramento.
We'll take your word for it.
And the reason we're not going to find Sacramento is because that guy's a moron. And we'd believe that. I love how much Doug Christie gets thrown under the bus in this.
Just gets absolutely steamrolled.
It makes me laugh. I mean, feel bad for him, but makes me laugh like, hey, do we find this team or just call their coach an idiot? Let's just call their coach an idiot. That's the easiest thing to do.
We're not
right?
going to call into question the integrity of the game because the Kings obviously threw a game. We're going to apply nuance here and just be like, oh, well, we'll take your word for it. No, it's insane. It's truly hilarious that the NBA would do a backflip now to protect the Sacramento Kings to avoid levying a fine because I do think, like our buddy the Beagles tumors, we're doing everything we can to avoid acknowledging the tumors that are all over the NBA right now. We'll just pretend there's nothing to fine here.
They're just going to make me put Buddy down. I don't want to
do that.
I don't want to do that.
So
I'm
we
just
don't
gonna
need to
ignore it.
admit that the Kings very, very, very openly tanked a game. In fact, the most tanked a game because we're just going to accept that, oh, yeah, Doug Christie, who spent his entire life in the NBA and has a team full of assistants whose entire job is to tell you we're in the penalty and we have this many timeouts left. Like, that is several assistants, basically entire job during the game.
You know, I think I find the Christie thing a little more believable than you do. I mean, not that I think... I mean, the NBA this is all just for show, so I'm not defending the NBA. But I watched I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus here, I guess. I watched an NBA coach have no idea what the score was at the end of the game.
Oh, we saw this with Mike Budenholzer a couple of years ago. It ended up getting him fired.
Yeah,
now,
in the playoffs.
His brother had died and there was all sorts of issues, but like he had this exact same problem. We see players, not shoot the ball in a game where they think they're leading and it's a tie game. We saw J.R. Smith get yelled at by LeBron James for not shooting the ball. I think it was against the Lakers, or maybe I can't remember who it was against, but yeah, getting yelled at for not putting the ball up. Chris Paul yelled at DeAndre Jordan, whoever it was, for doing this. There are absolutely mistakes made. What I think should be frustrating, or where I find the frustration, is all of a sudden the NBA has an ability to apply nuance. All of a sudden the NBA has an ability to take a step back and say, like, oh, well, we think this leads to this. Again, the Jazz could find $500,000 for winning a basketball game.
Yeah, because the NBA had a PR problem on its hands, and they did I love this saying, ham-handed way of addressing it. And the fact that they could pick on two teams that they don't care about,
right,
Utah and Indiana, made it the easy thing to do. Again, this is how I think poorly the NBA is run most times, is that they do the easy thing to address a PR issue, not an actual issue. Again, I don't actually think they care about tanking.
Right.
I mean, I think Mark Cuban's actually right about that.
I don't think anybody really cares that much about tanking other than the fans.
But it gives them, they have a PR problem on their hands because of it. And so they have to pretend like they're doing something to fix it, even though it's not going to fix anything.
Mm-hmm.
So Adam Silver's phone rings, and he sits up from his crypt and takes the call, and it's the Thunder complaining about what the Jazz are doing. Then he hangs up, and he picks up the next call, and it's FanDuel complaining about what the Jazz are doing. And he's like, okay, well, I better do something to act like I'm doing something. I'm going to find a couple of the teams that I don't care about, and that'll shut you up.
Yep.
And then it doesn't fix anything, and they look even worse because they're in no world were they going to find every team this year who tanked a game. That was never going to be an option.
Right.
So why do it in the first place? That's the big question in my mind. But then you have an issue like this where they do something that's rather obvious. And then you have to be like, we're looking into this because Draymond Green talked about it after the game. Oh, we got to do something.
Now we do have to say something about it.
Now we have to investigate. And, oh, good, we get to throw an idiot coach under the bus. Problem solved.
Yeah, right.
Just wait till our next GM meeting. That's when we're really going to do it. You know, it's so... It's very silly.
Yep.
And I don't blame the Jazz fans for being outraged. If I'm Brian Smith, I'm outraged.
No, absolutely.
And I think for him to actually go to the snap talk and respond to it when it happened was really bold. You actually don't see that a lot from NBA owners.
100%.
He must have been upset, and I don't blame him for one dang second. I mean, honestly, why weren't the Jazz fined all of last year? Why weren't the Jazz fined
every team
the year before?
Yeah, right.
No, like... What are you doing?
Yeah. What are the Jazz doing tonight? What are the Kings going to do tonight? What are the Memphis Grizzlies going to do tonight? Yeah, you are seeing it all over the place. It's every night. It's like what Draymond said. Draymond was exactly right. Teams do it every single night, and the NBA loves to find players, and they won't find the teams. Even though they have said that they were going to find the teams. And Adam Silver came out in front of everybody and said, this is the line in the sand. We are going to make sure that this doesn't happen anymore. Going to hammer the Jazz with a $500,000 fine. Going to fine the Pacers. And then truly not a peep. And then when it is obvious in plain sight, all of a sudden they find the one excuse that, oh, well, they just said he's a bad coach. He made a mistake. We watched the video. He said he was a bad coach. So what are we? Our hands are tied. What are we supposed to do about this? He's a bad coach. Will Hardy can say, I'm a good coach. I put my guys out there and we outscored the Miami Heat in the fourth quarter without our stars on the floor. I'm a good coach. And the NBA said, nah. The ESPN's talking so loudly about it, though. But Bobby Marks is mad about it.
Wait. Has Bobby weighed in on this one?
Brian Windhorst is mad. No, that's the other thing is they weighed in when there was nothing else to talk about in February because it was the NBA All-Star Game. NFL was over. Major League Baseball hadn't started. No golf tournaments going on.
But they protected Silver. I mean, they're...
But yes, they stomped their feet really loudly.
It's not just they needed to have a hot take. It's that they defended egregious action from the NBA.
And they led to the action. And now they don't need to.
No, not defended, justified. That is a better word. Bobby Marks, by coming out and justifying it, saying, I have never seen anything like this. The NBA was totally within its, is a lie.
The integrity of the NBA was on the line.
Is a lie, or he's an idiot. I'm going with lie. Although you look at his track record as an NBA GM, and idiot might be in there too.
It's very fair.
It is fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was bold to come out. I've never seen it. It was totally justified by the NBA. Is it?
Right. Oh, he demanded it. This was before the Jazz got fined.
So where are you at now?
He demanded it. Right. Where are you right now?
He's probably saying, oh, well, yeah, Doug Christie's an idiot. Boy, suave move by the NBA.
Well, look, they can talk about a million other things right now on NBA Today. That's the difference. The only difference is there are different storylines. Yeah. That's the only difference.
So anyway, Jazz fans should be firing off all sorts of snap talks to old Silver today.
Along these lines, just got an updated injury report for the Utah Jazz. Elijah Harkless out. So tonight, Elijah Harkless out, Isaiah Collier out, Kyle Filipowski out, Keontae George out, Jaren Jackson Jr. out, Walker Kessler out, Larry Markkinen out, Yusuf Nurkic out, Bryce Sensabaugh out.
You know what I feel bad about the thousands of kids that are going to the game specifically to see Phil, and they're not going to get to see him tonight? Thought it was going to be a let Phil cook kind of night, and not going to see it. I'm just bummed.
Last one of these. Again, no one's arguing the NBA has a tanking problem. Very clear the NBA has a tanking problem.
Is it a problem, though? That's what Mark Cuban would tell you.
Clearly the NBA doesn't actually think it's a problem.
They don't. Or they would have done they would do something more drastic. They would have done something more drastic.
And not just this year.
A long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
A long time ago. That's right. All right, we're checking in at the Masters with old BT today. Brian Taylor will join us coming up next from Real Golf Radio every Saturday morning. We'll see what's going on in Augusta. Stay tuned. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is DJ and PK.
Here we go again.
Joined now by Riley Jensen. I know somebody who went to a BYU practice, and they're not a BYU fan, and they came away blown away by Bear Bachmeier. They said he's way better than he was as a freshman, and they were comparing him to Alex Smith. Have you seen that? Do you believe that?
I've heard that he's doing very well in spring. This is exactly what you want to happen. I'm very happy that he's doing what he's supposed to do. But one of the things that happens once you've been the starter for a year and then you come back is guys respond to you better.
better because they know that you're the guy, and things are naturally going to go better in spring. But nobody on Texas Tech's football team really cares that Bear Bachmeier's better. I'm just very cautious about anything that people say about spring ball.
Catch DJ and PK mornings from 6 to 10 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm going to give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Jacob Band, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We're hoping to talk to BT coming up in a moment, getting you an update from the Masters. Until then, Ben, I fell for a clickbaity headline, but I'm super happy with the result. The Portuguese men of war are making a comeback. You know what I'm talking about?
Lloyd?
No.
Oh.
Although he could be compared to this creature.
The man of war, like the jellyfish?
The jellyfish.
Okay.
So the headline was, poisonous, stinging Portuguese men of war are rapidly invading beaches, extremely painful. As somebody who goes to the beach in the Atlantic, I was extremely concerned, but I'm grateful to hear that it's pretty much confined to the Gulf area. Okay. And that combines what we were talking about, corrections and retractions. Panama City is the capital of basically the redneck Riviera.
You see a lot of jellyfish stings on the beach where you go?
No, there's plenty of jellyfish. The jellyfish stings because I've been stung a bunch.
Oh, have you?
That's more in the Chesapeake Bay.
Okay.
Yeah, where I
keep
go.
Getting stung?
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Okay.
There used to be a real lot of them because pollution attracts them, and the Chesapeake Bay was super polluted in like the 80s and early 90s. It's much better now than it used to be.
Good.
I got stung in the face once.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Glad you're alive.
Talk about that story. Oh, they're small. That's what I'm saying. The Portuguese men of war, that's like giant.
The big ones.
They actually can really do damage. I just had a awful like welt rash thing on my face.
Nice.
Yeah. Speaking of face rashes, there just wasn't a good
transition.
No, it wasn't a.
Speaking of men of war,
transition. There. Do we need to play the Open? Should we play the Open to? All right, let's do that. BT joining us now from Augusta. What's going on, BT?
I did have some pre-cancerous stuff burned off my face recently. Is that what you're alluding to?
No, it was not, but I guess that kind of fits, I suppose.
All right. Well, successful first day, and obviously Rory makes the big push. Does that feel like the main storyline when you're there, boots on the ground?
Yeah, I thought that was a big storyline. Last year after he won the elusive green jacket and joined the Grand Slam club, I think we all talked about, hey, the lid's off. Rory could rip off 3 or 4 or 5, at this point in time, even though it had been, over 10 years between, major wins for Rory McIlroy. And so we had high expectations the very next month at Quail Hollow, and, he just did not play well, had the driver issue, and just what we didn't count on was that toll that win and the stress and the emotion of all those years really kind of took out on him. And it was pretty much, the rest of the season just wasn't his. But now you start to wonder, well, okay, he returns now as the, decorated, celebrated, defending champ and hosts the dinner and is wearing the green jacket on the grounds and gets to drive down Magnolia Lane as a champion and park in the champions, parking lot and he's got a locker in the champions locker room. And there's a lot of flex and confidence that comes along with that and some freedom. So I asked him after his first round, was there a sense of freedom when he, when you played versus some of the other years? And he conceded that maybe that was there, that when he didn't have it going well in the first 7 holes, that he didn't press, didn't have to kind of push on it because he's, again, if it doesn't work out, he's already got his, right? And so this is what's going to be interesting. I'm really anxious to see how he plays. Tees off in about 10 minutes for his second round. Very difficult conditions out there, very firm. It's perfect weather, but really tough and challenging conditions on the golf course because of the lack of humidity. And so I'm anxious to see what he can do. If he can put another low one, he's definitely in the driver's seat. Even something around even par would be a good score today. And that's a developing story. Could become just the 4th player to win back-to-back Masters, joining Jack, Faldo and Tiger. So, a good one developing here.
BT, take us through Scotty Scheffler's journey so far. I guess he's out on 10, right? Even today, something like that. You can probably give us more of an update. But the way he started, it looked like, man, look out, he's going to run away with it.
Yeah, and he's just been a little bit off, from this, I've been watching him from the monitor. That's a tough group to get close to out there on the golf course. So given that we have to, put the show together today, kind of watching it from the convenience of the press building here, but it just seems like he's just a little off, missed some putts, missed some shots, missed some drives, just not sharp. And that's a little bit surprising. But look, through 10 holes, that's a great birdie on 10. He sits there at 2 under par, and, that's a good spot. So I expect that we'll continue to see him, rebound. And if he can use that, look, made a couple of bogeys and got back to even. Now he's gotten them back. So, he's still Scotty Scheffler with the stretch of the golf course coming up that he can make some numbers. And so, assuming he kind of rights the ship here and maybe gets it into 3 or 4, it's going to be a great spot, and he's set up perfectly for the weekend. The only thing you have to kind of worry about really on a Friday is not getting left behind. There's, 7 shots. I think maybe 8 shots is the most that anyone's ever come back after 36 holes, and that was Jackie Burke back in the 50s. So it's pretty much, this group. And then talking about Scheffler, like he's one of, last I counted, there were 10 out of the top 13 or 14 that were in the top of the leaderboard that were major champion winners. And so super great leaderboard, stacked with great experience. And this is going to be a kind of the top of the class and see who can come through this.
Right now, sitting tied with Rory at the top is Sam Burns at 5 under. He's got a handful of tour wins, but hasn't particularly performed great at these majors. What have you seen from him, and what does his weekend look like?
Yeah, this is going to be a big one. Gets off to 4 straight pars. I think that's good. He's in a unique position. This is his 5th Masters. In the previous 4, he's missed the cut in half of them, kind of an every other year kind of thing for him. And last year tied for 46, so not exactly in the mix. But we've always known Burnsy to be a really good putter. And obviously, these are as fast and as pure greens as you'll putt. Some of the most difficult as well. So it lends itself to good putters for sure. But there's so many other things that come with it. Handling the pressure, putting your ball in position to be able to get it on the right spot of the green, to be able to have a putt to make. And so, given that he's on his game right now, it's a little bit of a surprise being there at the top of the leaderboard, but good for him. If he keeps it going, he's going to be challenging for his first major and his first Masters, along with, guys like McIlroy, who's looking for his, to be, as I said, the 4th to become back-to-back. Scheffler, who's looking to become the quickest to 3 jackets in his 7th start. Tiger, Jack, and Palmer all did it in their 8th. So there's like a lot of stuff that's going on here, and good for Burns. Justin Rose is the other one that's put himself right back there after he's had 3 runners up and 2 that he's missed in a playoff, and so putting himself right back in there, having one of the best rounds of the day is impressive. So there's just so many great names and stories that are wrapped up there on top of the leaderboard. And then you got Chris Goddard up in there as well. He's a first timer. He's the only multiple time tour winner this year on the PGA Tour, and he's just currently 3 shots back. So again, lots of good stuff.
He is Byron Taylor. I want to call him Byron.
Thank you.
Remember Brian Russell? Everybody wanted to call him Byron.
Yeah.
BT seems like a Byron to me.
Okay.
I don't know why. A Real Golf Radio brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union, Mountain Land Supply, Black Desert Resort, Hoops Vision, and you went to golf. Give us a name that may not be on top of the leaderboard, BT, but you expect to do some damage over the weekend.
Well, I guess I would go with Schauffele. He's not really too far down, but I'm anxious to see what Schauffele does. Just got off to his 2nd round start, parred 1. He's at 2 under par. He's a lot of the prognosticators' favorites. So look for Schauffele and see what he's not has a lot of conversation about him yet, but a good round today will put him right there in the mix.
You don't think Bubba Watson's going to charge from plus 6 then, huh?
Yeah. And I think that ship sailed a long time ago.
We were looking at people, because I'm me. I was looking at golfers that played badly. What happened to John Rahm? In all seriousness, we were speculating about this early in the show. Is it that Liv just did him in? What happened to that guy? He's +5 for the tourney. I guess he's 1 under for the day, so good for him. But what happened to that dude?
It's a good question. It really is. It's something that I think we'll keep an eye on. There's a lot of discussion about that they just don't get the highest level of competition. They don't get this level of difficulty in their golf courses. They're playing for, 25, 30 under par, and then they do that on the PGA Tour as well. But, they're really playing against about 10 other guys that are, of top caliber, and the rest of them just aren't the same level. And so, there's certainly some speculation that, maybe their saw's a little dull, not quite as sharp as they otherwise would be if they were competing against the best players in the world week in, week out. I don't know yet, but it is interesting. I mean, Cam Smith is another good example. He won the 150th Open Championship at the home of golf at St. Andrews, and then promptly signs with Liv, and we don't hear anything from him. Dustin Johnson was a little bit more at the end of his career, so I don't know that that's good data, but Brooks Koepka, popped out and won the PGA Championship, after signing with Liv, but then kind of went dark a little bit. And here he is back on the PGA Tour, and, his name's kind of popping right back up in there again. So, Pat Reed, again, didn't have some great finishes when he was at Liv, and he's left Liv playing European Tour. He's won twice there since leaving Liv, and now here he is putting himself in contention again here at the Masters. So there is some data, there's some at least observances to suggest that maybe that isn't the best thing for your game playing on Liv. But again, it'll all play itself out. But yeah, I think of all the players, maybe Rahm was a little bit the most, I don't know if hurt or disappointed by the whole thing. My opinion only is that whether it was his agent or somebody sold him the idea, hey, the PGA Tour and Liv are about to come together. This is your last chance to grab a bag, and we're all going to be one happy family in a few months anyway, and you could miss out on all these hundreds of millions. And so he took it, and here we are a few years later, and it's not the case. So I do think right in the prime of his career, that was a bit of a head-scratcher, given all the things he had said about not leaving and then going ahead and leaving and sort of becoming irrelevant in the majors. So, hey, we'll see. I wish John the best. He's a fun guy to watch, and obviously a great champion. So here's hoping he'll get it figured out. But it is something to maybe consider when you see his bad play and not being as sharp as he would expect or we would expect him to be.
Before we let you go, BT, what can we expect tomorrow on the show?
Yeah, we're putting together a good one. Observations from the week. What's it like a week at the Masters, from the Champions Dinner and some of the players' comments that were there to first-timers and their experience. We've been visiting and following with both of the first two winners of the Black Desert on the PGA Tour event. You're talking about Matt McCarty and Michael Brennan, and they're out here playing. McCarty, of course, played last year. Brennan make his first appearance. So talking about their impressions being out here and competing on the biggest stage and how that win launched their career. So we'll talk about that. And then, hit the leaderboards. We've got a couple of golf writers that are going to be joining us to break it all down. And, it's going to be fun. I love this show. This one, 2 hours doesn't feel like it's enough, but we'll give you everything we can during that time slot.
Catch Byron and Bob tomorrow. I don't know, BT. What do you think? I think it works.
Sir Byron.
Sir Byron.
Lord Byron.
Lord Byron, even better. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Brian,
I went to the Irish tourism dinner last night, and I introduced myself as O'Brien, if that helps.
Yeah. Oh, so, yeah. Okay. Brian, we appreciate you and all your great coverage this week. Thanks, man.
Thanks, BT.
Always a pleasure to speak with you boys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Masters, and we'll talk soon.
Back at you, buddy. Thank you very much. Brian Taylor, Real Golf Radio, tomorrow from 8 to 10. Catch it. And, they're good every week, but their Masters coverage, their coverage of the majors overall is
they're in person.
Second to none.
Cool to have such a local connection.
Again, I want him to dip his arm into the water to see if it comes out blue.
Fishing your watch out of a porta potty.
Yeah, right. Gross.
Why'd you take your watch off?
Stay tuned. We wrap up Jacob Ed and wrap up the week next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is JJ and Alex.
I got this.
Travis Yost, our guest, he covers the NHL for TSN.
For the Mammoth, I think they're the fourth best team in the West. I think that they would be a likely favorite against Anaheim. They could be or should be a favorite in a series against Vegas. If the Mammoth close the season as we expect, by goal differential, this is the best team that has ever been on the ice for either the Utah or Phoenix, Arizona Coyotes franchise by goal differential this season right here, right now. This team absolutely should not be thinking we made it to the playoffs. What an accomplishment. At this point, considering how good the Mammoth have been, and I mean that, they really should be thinking, how do we go in and win a round in the playoffs? And I think if you've got Anaheim on the ice, even if you're the road team in that series, that's a matchup the Mammoth should want, and it's one they should win.
Catch JJ and Alex afternoons from 3 to 7 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Yeah, I've been working.
Getting the boys together.
I've been working on some stuff.
Getting the band back together.
Buddy, it's commitment.
I can't wait.
It's commitment. It really is.
I can't believe I got a sneak peek.
Yeah, right. You saw some of the bootleg tracks that we haven't.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Garage sessions.
We've been working it.
Okay.
So stay tuned for that.
I can't wait. Next week. Big new release from the album, from the band.
Maybe. We'll see.
Single?
I don't know. We got
a whole album.
Oh, probably the single.
LP, just a single.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, we can rip stuff off pretty quick, but the whole album. No, I don't think so.
Season's going on.
Yeah, right. We're busy. Got 2 more games. Again, glad Bryce Sensabaugh is getting some rest. I mean, he needs to really keep it in the tank for that last one against the Lakers.
Bryce back next year?
He's under contract, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
So I would say yes. What do you think?
Get the feeling of any of the young players if they weren't coming back next year. My guess is Bryce, but maybe the obvious answer is just Cody. Because truthfully, Cody still is the least accomplished of them. But I think it's very clear that Bryce is at his best with a very big role. And there's not a very big role on this team.
With the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a team option next year.
Yeah.
For 4.8.
And I think they've already picked it up. I think they've picked up all the players' options.
Yeah, they're going to pick it up for sure.
It's a really bad sign if you don't get your rookie deals extended. And in all honesty, I think there's a real argument to just keep these guys, all of them. Isaiah, Cody, Flip's option actually does have to be picked up.
No, all these guys. Well,
Bryce,
you can't
certainly.
technically pick up the option yet.
I think you can extend rookie deals because no one else can grab them.
Yeah, but he hasn't been extended.
No, but like the rookie options I think you do that really early in the year. Like I actually think this might be done already. I may be wrong. Neither here. It doesn't matter. He's not going to hit free agency, certainly. I'll be really curious. I'll be curious who could get moved because, there will be options, I suspect, for some of these guys to get moved for like the 35th pick. And the Jazz decide that they'd rather have another crack at a second rounder, an early second rounder versus bringing somebody back at $4 million.
Well, what you really want to do if you did a move like that is just reset the salary structure.
Yeah, exactly right.
Bryce, now you have to figure out how much you're going to pay him and how much you want to give him going forward.
Cody's making $6 million or something next year. Would
Always,
you rather pay?
Yeah, always remember rookies are affordable.
Yeah, and there's room. There's room to grow.
So I don't know, but yeah, I would guess he's back. I would guess all those guys are back. Why not?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think you have to make any major decisions quite yet. You've already made a bunch. Yeah. Walker Kessler's the biggest decision you have to make this offseason. Conceivably, if you could give Keontae an extension at a low cost, I think you would do that. That might be a little bit different than Walker because I'm not sure the Jazz are having to make major decisions next summer as often or this summer as often because they've kind of got a plan in place for what the team's going to look like. But
well, they don't really have a decision to make with Walker. They're going to retain him.
I think so, yeah.
The nuance is, do they work out a deal with Walker? Mm-hmm. And what kind of deal does that look like?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what the tenure offer is always so low that nobody ever takes it. Can you think of anyone who took it and to just become a free agent the next year? I can't think of a single example.
Well, honestly, so here's the bad example of it is it did just happen with Cam Thomas with the Nets. He thought, I'm worth 20.
And it totally screwed him.
They offered him $14 million. Yeah. He's literally out of the NBA. He does not have a team. They traded him to Milwaukee. Actually, I think they cut him because they couldn't trade him at the deadline. Milwaukee signed him. He played for 2 weeks, and they cut him. I would assume who may have also done the same. No, because Iowa was a second-round pick. So Miles, or who's the Bridges, right? Not Bridges. Oh, he plays for the 76ers right now. He's kind of their good guard who's bounced around the league.
Oh,
he was with the Knicks. Then he went to Dallas.
But he did it.
He didn't pick up his. He didn't sign a contract. He took a Quentin Grimes. He signed the qualifying offer, is what they call it, just so he could hit unrestricted free agency. Walker's not going to do that.
I don't think so.
No.
Well, just look at what happened to Cam Thomas. Look at that example.
Yeah, right.
No, I mean it never happens for a reason.
And,
so I don't think they have to decide whether Walker's back or not. They're going to retain him.
Right.
Maybe they sign and trade him or something, but they're going to retain him no matter what.
Yeah, and then you don't have to sign him and trade him immediately. You can sign him and shop him all year if you want.
Yeah.
Say he doesn't fit, but we think he'd fit on your team. So give us a $30 million player back. That's the no-brainer of it all. If you lose the asset of Walker Kessler, you don't get anything. You might as well sign him and then try and trade him later if you don't want him.
Right.
But somebody, if they're willing to pay him $20 million this offseason, will pay him $20 next offseason, or $25 or $30. So you might as well just give him his money and then try and trade him. So, yeah, those aren't terribly difficult decisions. I'm with you. I guess the question is, how many of these young guys are we going to see again? I don't know.
I think all of them.
I think there's a very realistic chance.
I mean, maybe not some, maybe Harkless is a two-way guy again. I don't know. Hinson is interesting. Maybe he's kind of a two-way, but I don't know if we necessarily see all those guys. I know Bez Mbang has a summer league spot, but I would be surprised if we saw him.
Kennedy Chandler, this is actually his last game. His 10-day expires tomorrow.
Yeah.
So the question is, does he get picked up for the rest of the season?
For the one
Make
game?
an extra $18,000 for the Lakers game.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we'll see any of those guys, but I don't see him moving on from Phil or Bryce or Collier. Who am I missing?
Cody.
And Cody? No, I don't think so. Unless they get a great trade offer for one of them. Or they want to do what you talked about, and that's reset the clock.
Yeah, which is possible.
Which is possible, but I don't know if that's likely.
And do you want to, again, you're adding another top 5 pick this year probably. Another top 8 pick at the very least.
Yeah.
That's your young guy next year. Do you want another rookie second-round pick who has to step in and play?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Scotty G and Friends. I had to pause to make sure
You did it right.
Scotty G
Proud of
and
you.
Friends coming up next. Stay tuned. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Hatch.
On the Jake and Ben Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.